All right. Hello, everyone. It's your girl, Jynnette, the Oracle, and I'm here to do this week's Oracle Talks because, let's see, because I have gotten so far behind on my newsletter for the week. I normally, at this point, would have sent out the monthly astrology for the month, and obviously that has not happened. So I'm going to talk about the astrology in today's session, but I will do some cards first and foremost just to get the channel guidance message, and then we'll talk about just some of the key moments in astrology that jump out to me. Okay. And then, as usual, if you have questions, I do open Q&A after I do the channel messaging. So feel free to type them in the chat now. That way it saves time. And yeah, if you are new here, please, well, first of all, welcome. Thank you for joining me. Please actually subscribe to my channel and help me get to 1,000 subscribers. And I will, once I have some time later on today, actually put in the show notes below links for each of the signs, because I just did the monthly tarot forecast for each sign. So I'll put those in the show notes so that it's easy to reference. But of course, they are actually in their own playlist as well. But for those who want to easy access, I'll do that later on today, hopefully. Let's see, what else is going on? June 15th, which is next Saturday, is the last day to enroll and also submit payment for the Lightworker Academy. So please get that in sooner rather than later. Thank you. Also, next Thursday, the 13th, I am going to be on Awakening Heart Network, being interviewed there. So if you'd like to participate, you can register for free. Go to my website on the watch page, scroll down to interviews, and then information and the link will be there to register. And also this month, I'm doing a Gemini Lunar Month Gratitude Challenge. So if you want to participate, follow me on Instagram or Facebook. All the instructions are there because I'm posting like every single day, and I include the instructions each time to be able to participate. Alrighty, so welcome. Please also like the video too. Thank you, thank you. Today I am sipping coffee because I need the energy. The added energy. I'm not tired, but I need to get into the reserves. I have a lot of work to do this month, prepping for the academy, and I have a few events and things like that. So yeah. Cool, so let's tune in. So go ahead and take a few deep breaths on your own. Make sure you're doing belly breathing. And messages will be coming in from the sun. And I will be channeling them from the sun through my celestial aspect. So this will be a message from my heart to yours for the coming week. Good morning and good morning. Welcome to everyone who's in. If you're here, feel free to, and you have the capability, feel free to say hi to everybody else. And again, as usual, if you do have questions for the open Q&A, please go ahead and start typing them in now. That way I can get right into it. Oh, okay. The enchanted map cards want to be used again. I used them for the tarot guidance, but they're like, we want to be used. All right, so let's see what they have to say for us for this week. Greetings, welcome, welcome. Thank you for that beautiful butterfly. Butterflies are one of many insects that relate to me. The energy of the ancestors. Oh, beautiful card. Wide open. And there's a butterfly in the picture. I love it. There's a butterfly in the picture. I love it. Okay. So let's see what it is. So it's wide open on the basis of gentle gardener, number 2. Also, I hope this feed is much clearer. I realized when I was pulling the links for the videos from yesterday, like the feed was off, or not off, but like the transmission was pixelated for some of them and not for others. So I'm not really sure why that is happening. Of course, it annoys the fuck out of me with the Virgo moon, because I'm just like, when I see myself here, it's absolutely clear. Why does that not translate? I don't know. Technology is not my forte. All right, so here's the card, wide open. Number 42, let me read the quote. You are free to express your uniqueness to the world and share in all the bounty of life's endless possibilities. Nice. I'm going to say that again, because this is a message coming from my celestial aspect to you. You are free to express your uniqueness to the world and share in all the bounty of life's endless possibilities. The message is all manner of opportunities are presented to you at this time. With the wide open card is a signal that you're able to truly manifest your dreams and that your goals are in sight. Don't remain small and contracted. Instead, expand your horizons beyond what you believe to be your limitations. You have a unique voice that needs to be expressed in the world. The universe is supportive of new ideas and approaches at this time, so speak up and speak out. I'm going to say that again. You have a unique voice that needs to be expressed in the world. The universe is supportive of new ideas and approaches at this time, so speak up and speak out. This card is the sign of the maverick who freely roams the wide open space of possibility. Allow for a greater vision to replace old ideas as you dream a grander dream. I mean, that was a read for me. Hello, Overflow Tarot. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so this is on the basis of number 2, Gentle Gardener. Very similar message. Okay, again, from my celestial aspect to you, the quote is, be your own person. Be a conscious co-creator. The message is, the gentle gardener is visiting you at this moment in your life to remind you that your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs create the reality you experience. She is the embodiment of the energy within you that is sent out into the field of co-creation and ensures that all that you are is reflected in the world of form. Are you aware of your thoughts? What is their quality? Believe in limitless possibility and you will see miracles unfold. The gentle gardener guarantees the integrity of everything you send out into the world. Stay positive and expect a wondrous return. Your garden is abundant with beauty. One of the things that's coming through is to speak about the difference between your thoughts, your feelings or emotions, and your beliefs. They are 3 different things, right? But I think we can actually get confused about what really comes first. Like, what's the difference between beliefs and thoughts and feelings? So the spirit is the foundation of life. The formless is the foundation of life. And that is what actually creates and forms physical reality. Okay. That would be, for me, what beliefs are. So they're actually going to be either you can look at it higher vibration or a subtler vibration, subtler aspect of your divinity that gives the rise to your physical form. Now, I think where it can get confusing is, we have this idea of the subconscious mind and the conscious mind and all of that. I would actually say beliefs are the super conscious mind. Okay. Your thoughts would be the conscious mind, and your feelings would be the subconscious. So the subconscious is molded and created in part by the environment, but we're going to speak about the individual, right? Is molded by the conscious mind, and the conscious mind, in addition to being influenced by the outside as well, is formed and primarily influenced by the superconscious mind, or the astral body. Okay. So, and I'm saying this because I had a great reminder listening to a recent interview from Sandra Walter, who is one of the way showers that I follow. And she had said something profound that I actually missed the first time I listened to the interview, which is why it's really good to listen to recordings from those who are light workers multiple times, because there's going to be different information that comes through depending on where your consciousness is. And this is I'm getting less than 12 hours, this new information from just re-listening a part of an interview. And it was literally just a snippet because I was fast forwarding to another part I wouldn't listen to. Anyway, she had said the goal of ascension is the healing of the heart, essentially coming to a place of greater and greater heart coherence. Now, there's lots of tangents I can go off on that. I won't do that today. Apply for the Lightworker Academy or the Lightworker Incubator if you want to get into more. But yeah, I thought that was really profound, because the healing of the heart, the astral body, the humanity, the collective human consciousness, the collective human akasha, really is the point of this ascension process. And, light workers in particular, we do a lot of the work individually first in order to support those in the community, whether locally, nationally, or internationally, with doing this work as well, by acting, as I like to call it, as big brother and big sister for them, to show them what's possible, or bring different techniques to the fore, or literally just even being an example of being in existence to show them what it can look like. But that's what it is. In addition to many things, but in terms of really the ascension work for humanity, that's what we're talking about, is the healing of the heart. And the healing of the heart, much more than just the individual personal experience of heart, which is a really important component, and it's the first gate. But it's all the things. It's the collective heart as well. So these two cards of Wide Open and Gentle Gardener very much are speaking to me of that energy, of that capacity. And so when we look at the difference between thoughts and feelings and beliefs, when we are really trying to address healing our beliefs, or shifting our beliefs to being something that is more life affirming, i.e. something that is actually in alignment with our true divine nature, what we're doing is healing our heart. And as that is healed, it necessarily changes our consciousness, i.e. our thoughts, which then also necessarily changes our feelings and emotions, or the subconscious, if you like. Okay. So when we're doing heart healing, when we're doing belief system healing, which to me, would be the same thing, it invariably opens your heart up more. You start realizing and experiencing how big your love is, how big your heart is, how wide and open it is, how much actually can flow through from the soul through you when that becomes more clear, becomes more coherent. And it ranges anywhere from, like, ecstatic bliss to deep tears of devotion and gratitude to abiding peace to grace embodiment, which is what I sit in. I sit in the embodiment of grace, to divine mercy, to one of the myriad of the actual virtues of God, right? You actually step into truly your soul purpose on the earth when you are doing that belief system shifting, or really the heart healing. Okay, that is your angelic nature. All humans are angels. We are all sons of El. Sons meaning S-U-N, not S-O-N. We are all little mini suns, little fractals of our sun. We don't have a name for our sun. You might like using Solaris, like some of folks do. It's whatever, raw, whoever is, whoever, whatever. But we're all sons of the sun, sons of El. Angel meaning El as God, sons of El, messengers of God. But we're all what that is. And as these individual fractals of the sun, as copies of the sun, there are specific purposes and operations that each fractal has, by grouping, by oversoul grouping. And as you are doing your belief system healing, as you're doing your heart healing, the clarity about the embodiment of an aspect of the nature of God becomes much more clear. Now, as aspects of God, we do embody all of the natures, but there definitely is going to be one, at least, possibly two or three that will be dominant. But truly, there is, the one primary that will have a deeper connection to a connection to God. So whether that is grace, whether that is love, whether that is mercy, whether that is joy, whether that is healing, whether that is strength, whether that is protection, whatever it is, that ultimately is our assignment, to be a walking physical embodiment of virtue, of one of the virtues, excuse me. Any questions on that? That was a sermon. Welcome to the new folks who have come in. Thank you. Please like the video. And if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe to help me get to 1,000 subscribers. Merci beaucoup. And I'll fill out the description box below, most likely later on today, with info and updates for you. So let me get quick guidance. Oh. That was fast. And then we're going to talk about the astrology. And I will put all of the astrological transits below as well too. It will also be in my newsletter. And that I will send out today once this, when I fill out the description box and everything is uploaded. I'll have this video. I'm going to link this video in the newsletter. For that. Okay. All right. 2020 on the counter. I love it. So message for this week. We're coming into first quarter square in, is it Gemini already? One second. Oh, it is going to be first quarter square in Gemini. Or excuse me, Virgo. And that's happening on June 9th, which is Sunday. Okay. All right. So we're in the waxing moon phase, of course. One second, guys. And again, for those of you who are just coming in, if you would like to ask any questions, just go ahead and put that in the chat box. And I'll get to those in a moment when I'm done with everything else. Okay, so there is an important upgrade that's happening in this coming week. Because of the internal balance that is in place. I totally don't remember what I was talking about last week, but I feel I was talking about our ascension process, wasn't I? So a bit of that is actually coming through here now, which is good. So yeah, there is some continuing healing that's needing to occur. But we're balancing out. And the reason I say that is because I have both the king and the queen of earth showing up here, which is the masculine and feminine energy within. We're balancing that out. Did that happen? Did I get the queen of, or the Empress card before? Oh, you know what? I'm thinking about the tarot forecast. That's what I'm getting. Like there was a message that were coming through for a couple of signs about. One sign was getting messages about healing the masculine part. Another sign was getting a message about healing the feminine part because they were specifically getting the Emperor and the Empress. That's why it's jogging my memory. But this is a collective read. So for all of us in general, healing of the heart and understanding the effect that has in creating our physical reality definitely has been in play. It's still occurring, but we are in a place of greater mastery and coming into greater balance within. We are going to have to defend this in the coming week, which really just means seeing things for what they really are. So this is related to your interactions with other people, situations, stuff in the spirit, like calling a spade, really. And not being naive about things, because it's like, you know, at this point, we've all been through enough to know what's up. And I'm hearing that we're no longer playing games, and we are much more comfortable now taking up space, which is good. We're not giving ground, which is good. Because we've accepted the call to arms or the call to purpose from our soul. We've said yes. We've said yes to this new path. And we are letting the soul dictate a lot more moving forward. So there's also a message coming through about we have the opportunity this week to again practice and be aware of how our belief systems create physical reality and to use that to our advantage. I'm also hearing create a lot more spiritual space. You also might have a greater capacity for dealing with the small things, dealing with the details right now. And if that's the case, use that for your advantage to move forward on things that you might have fallen back on. But again, be effective versus efficient, meaning get done those things that actually move your goals forward, move your ideals forward, move your dreams forward, whatever it is, as opposed to just trying to get everything done on a to-do list. If you're really being effective, it's only going to be honestly 2 or 3 things. And you need to see the value in that. I'm also hearing you're ready to shine, or we're ready to shine, we're shining. But yeah, this is the battle of the quote unquote battle of the mind. There's going to be more mind stuff. But it's really just going to be mind changing because heart and belief systems are changing, which is good. I think what you will notice and find throughout really these next 2 weeks, you have the opportunity to make some really positive shifts in your life and to have them stick and to know that they stick and to feel a greater sense of peace, especially in your body. Like you should actually be feeling that your body is much more relaxed. And you're at home with yourself. Just keep staying connected to your heart, keep staying connected to your soul. Because it won't lead you astray. It will show you how to create and what to do. Also getting a message here about using the double octahedron, not only for the purification of your energy field, the raising up of your vibration, but also for protection. Okay. I'm an octahedron person, not a Merkaba person, personally. Although 6-sided polygons are Bay, but in terms of for both of those aspects, the double octahedron is the way to go because that's the solar energy. And when you are uplifting yourself or seeking protection, you always want to go with energy that's above you. So when I say you, I'm talking about the human templates as it relates to more of the physical. That's the 6 energy. Okay. But that's encapsulated in the 8 and beyond because there's more, but you know. Okay. Excuse me. I think that's it. Any questions? Any questions on that? I'm going to pull up my notes on all the transits and I'll go through real quick with these guys. Whoop. Okay, no questions. Awesome. So I'm going to briefly give the quick blurb on the moon cycles. So, okay, new moon we obviously had on June 3rd, which was Monday. And then first quarter square moon I mentioned is going to be in Virgo on June 9th, which is this coming Sunday. Then we have the full moon, which is going to be in Sagittarius on the 17th. And then third quarter square moon in Aries on June 25th, which I believe is like a Monday or a Tuesday. What's the degrees on that moon though? I don't know why I didn't write this here. I just was not getting it together this week, guys. Well, that's not true, actually. I had a lot of stuff to do, which is why I'm behind on that. Okay, so it's 3 degrees of Aries. Okay, so we almost are having a lunar cycle fully in mutable signs. If the third quarter square moon was in Pisces, which it literally just was, the week before last, then it would be a full mutable cycle, but it's not, it's just 3. But I think it's still going to be pretty potent, I guess. The mutable energy is about integration, transformation, transmutation. So it's a clearing energy, it's an integrating of the new, it's the becoming into the more. So it's a lot of change and growth and opportunity for that. Now, if you are somebody who has a lot of cardinal energy in their chart, if you are, cardinal signs, if you're a cardinal sign, if you have a lot of planets in cardinal houses, if you have a lot of air energy or fire energy in your chart, you probably will really, really, really like this lunar month because the energy is moving. If you have a lot of fixed energy in your chart, regardless of sign, like, depending on the houses and things like that, this is probably not going to feel comfortable. Me personally, I'm loving it, but it's also like generating so much output and so much downloads, which is amazing. But I'm also finding that there's a lot that gets filled and it's difficult at times to keep up with it. So I'm trying to be better about like just jotting down everything that comes through because I'm not necessarily having to implement everything that comes up, but a lot of stuff is just like it comes, act on it, and move, right? So there's that. The Gemini energy, though, is the seed. So that is about building up your skills, getting better about communication, both with spirit, with your own heart, as well as with others. Focusing attention back on those who you hold close to heart. So this is going to be more, for me, chosen family energy. So like close friends, spending time with them, which is one of the first things I did. Like my entire weekend leading into the beginning of this week was dedicated to filling up my spirit and my physical space with those who are held close to my heart, to just, that was my intention. And it's very much a focus for the summertime for me. But yeah, that's important, is community, but closer community, not like, yeah, you might go to networking events and things like that, but it's really important to cultivate that emotional intimacy, especially in a platonic sense, right? So that's important. And I would say all of those things, if you're needing something to focus on for the month, would be the way to go. Now, in terms of key transits, we did have Mercury move into Cancer on the 4th, which would have been Tuesday. So this is going to make it easier for folks to be communicating their feelings, both people outside of you as well as yourself, and hopefully easier for you to process and be able to look at them objectively. And then on the 8th, which is going to be Saturday, Venus goes into Gemini. Now, I'm going to love this because I'm a Venus and Gemini person. I'm gonna try not to be messy this month because um, yeah. Venus in Gemini, Venus in Leo energy, like Venus in air sign energy and Venus in fire sign energy. Like if you're folks that have that in your chart, like you already know. So I'm gonna try not to be acting up. Not that hard, but yeah. But yeah, Venus will be going into Gemini. Now, I think this is going to be great because Gemini, the first four signs are the childlike signs, and I think it's going to be a fun energy. Gemini is like the younger sister energy of Libra, which is one of the signs that Venus rules. So I think this will be nice and light, especially because Mercury is going to be in Cancer. Like, the mind will be in a more empathetic space, and the heart, or that charm quality that Venus brings to the table, lets us also not take things too seriously. So, and be able to have fun and have joy. So I think that that's good. What else? Okay, on the 10th, I'm not going through like all the transits, but I'm just picking out the ones that are jumping out to me right now. On the 10th, which is going to be Monday, the sun is going to be opposing Jupiter. Now, I'm someone who truly believes that any Jupiter aspect with the sun is positive. So I expect this to be a really nice download that folks get, again, depending on where it is in your chart. Although because these signs, Gemini and Sagittarius specifically, have to do with the mind and also belief systems, so consciousness and super consciousness, or thoughts and beliefs, I think there's going to be some beautiful breakthroughs out of limiting patterns at the time, or even some brand new sparks of inspiration that, again, may not necessarily be needing to be acted on now. It might be later on, starting when Jupiter goes direct later. But I think that's going to be a really beneficial energy. Okay. Let's see. Now, the tougher energy. June 14th is when this is going to be one of the first of two tough energies. Let me see if those are both happening. Yeah, they're happening this month. Okay, so on the 14th, Mars is opposing Saturn. And then on the 19th, both Mercury and Mars are opposing Pluto. Okay. Now, Mars is a very volatile energy. And whenever it is having any tough aspects with Saturn and Pluto, I find it to be days of conflict and, being just undisciplined, I'll say. But this could range from spiritual warfare, being unsettled from the mental realm, emotional realm, physical. It really is just going to depend. And I would say pay attention also to where this is in your chart. But I think also because this is going to be involving the nodes, it is going to be spiritual in addition to oh, that's your Venus too. You already know. Yeah. So I think it definitely will have a spiritual component in addition to whatever the areas of life, Cancer and Capricorn, may be in your chart. This is happening at 18 and 19 degrees of Cancer and Capricorn, just for specificity. So, yeah, Saturn usually represents authority figures, and Mars doesn't like to follow authority. I know because I have Mars conjunct my ascendant, so I'm not really one for being told what to do. So just know that those 2 days are going to be testy days. Fortunately, they're all happening within of the same 5-day period. So it may be an interesting part of the month, but once that's done, it's done, right? Now, it also may bring up some negative patterns because Mars consequently will also be opposing the south node of the moon, which is where some of the negative aspects of our behavior patterns can come up. So we really have to tighten the belt of discipline on ourselves to stay on the up and up and not revert back to negative patterns and behavior. All right. And basically, like, actually, both Mars and Mercury are doing this dance, like, within a day of each other. So Mercury and Mars opposing Saturn, Mercury and Mars opposing Pluto, which concurrently means opposing the South Node. Now, this also means, in addition, that they are conjuncting the North Node too. So you can choose to take the higher road. And that is going to be in alignment with the soul. This also means during that whole period, so basically from June 14th to the 19th, that essentially Mercury and Mars are going to be conjunct. Again, this may be tricky because Mars is our passion and our drive and our ambition. Mercury is relating to our mind and communication and things. So we can, depending on how we choose to navigate this, fall into passive aggressive behavior or emotional manipulation and all that kind of thing. Or we can develop the courage to speak effectively what's on our hearts, help diffuse tense situations with another person. It can run the gamut. It's really going to depend on your chart, but so just watch that time frame, the 14th through the 19th, and I would even say probably even the 13th through the 20th, just to be safe. But be on your P's and Q's. All right, now my favorite part, because I'm a cardinal sign. June 21st is when the sun moves into Cancer. Yay, Cancer babies! It's our birthday. This is also the summer solstice, which, yay, the changing of the cycles, which is the Wheel of Fortune card, right? So we are now in, for me, the spiritual new year actually starts with the autumn equinox in the fall. So from this point forward, we will actually start shifting into continuing to realize the fruits of our labor, the return on investments of what has been built so far, but also start to, be able to enjoy what we have, because that's part of what this is enjoying the harvest. This is harvest time in the spirit, but also starting slowly but surely to set things up in the way that we need so that we can start slowing down, because we got to get ourselves to a place of preparation for receiving what is next for us in the spirit once we hit the fall. But this is also turn up time because it's summer. So here in the Northern Hemisphere. So this is beautiful. I am so freaking excited. Like, you don't even understand. Now, with that being said, this is also the day that Neptune goes retrograde. So I think in general for folks, especially those of you who are water signs, this is going to feel really good, because I liken Neptune retrograde as a time when we're at low tide, when we're at the ocean. So it's like the waters recede, and which means that there's a relief, I think, energetically from all of the emotions, all of the potential heaviness, and we get to breathe a little bit easier. We get a little bit more room to walk around and see what's going on underneath the surface. So I think it will free up a lot of energy, especially for those who are water signs or who have a lot of energy in the water houses, which would be the 4th, 8th, and 12th house. Now, this receding of the waters, so to speak, to see what's there, I personally love, because I have a Virgo moon. So I like knowing what's there so I can make adjustments and plan and all that kind of thing, because I'm anal like that. But if you've been running from things and not wanting to see things from, the smallest to the biggest context, this can be a hard transit. Neptune going retrograde can be a hard time of year, because Neptune goes retrograde basically every year. But it can be tough, especially for those who suffer from some form of mental illness, because it's the emotional energy or the water energy can help to buffer some of the mania or even some of the spiritual conflict or what have you. And then once that buffer gets stripped, it can be too stark of an adjustment. It may be too glaring, too blinding. And if there's a lot of shame and guilt and all that kind of stuff, in addition to whatever else might be in play, this can be a hard time. So I do usually recommend that, if you don't already keep tabs or stay connected to those who are suffering that you know of, to be more present in their life during a Neptune retrograde in particular. And same for you. If you are someone who experiences this, then this is the month, the Gemini lunar month, to call in more of your support in the physical, your inner circle, your friends, therapists, what have you. And for the duration of the Neptune retrograde, which goes until basically Thanksgiving time. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's basically like 5 total months, right? To, ask for additional support there is really key. So be proactive in that. Cancer Sun, Leo rising, yes. Listen, I'm so ready for this. I mean, but real talk though, I've been lit since spring equinox. Like straight up that choice point. Like there truly was, I mean, and there have been several over the years, and I've talked about it, in particular over these last couple of years. But I mean, since like 2012 and on, like we've been having like these gateways. But that spring equinox, I could feel it. I could feel the drop off of the old timelines. I could feel like the literal shift of a new track. It's like, when you see like the tracks of a train, once it's getting to a juncture point, like the track will actually lift up and switch to something else. Like that's what happened, folks. And there's been a couple little spots within this spring season. So yeah, I think this Gemini lunar month is kind of like the integration of the choices that were made end of March into the end. So basically Aries season predominantly, which would have been end of March into the first part of April before we got into Taurus. And that's when all those downloads are coming through in the Oracle talks. Okay, so yeah, we talked about Venus or Neptune going retrograde. On the 23rd, Venus is going to be opposing Jupiter. So I think this is going to be another opportunity to do some heart healing or belief system healing on that time, because Venus would be talking more about belief systems and the heart energy, the aura body in particular, in our evolution process. So that might be a good day to do some work, or it may naturally come up for you around that time. And then last thing I'll mention is June 26th is when Mercury moves into Leo. Mercury and Leo. I'm hearing the phrase owning who you are. Owning who you are. And, with Mercury also ruling communication, like speaking that truth unabashedly, courageously. We've all come a long, long way. That's beautiful. All right. So we have just a few more minutes. So if folks have questions for the open Q&A, go ahead and ask them. And I will pull cards to get guidance for you. And if there's no questions, I'm about. Hope everyone's having a wonderful week. I've been productive in a lot of personal ways, just not with just not with some business stuff, but priority was getting these videos done, right? So I'm glad I got those done. Glad I got those done. I hope everyone is well. Hope everyone is doing well. All right. Whew. No questions? No questions? Y'all are good? Everything's perfect? I love it if it is. Any interesting experiences you want to share? Yeah. You good? All right, so I'm gonna do a closing message. Do a closing message. All right. I can actually feel all the heart healing that's happening for folks. And I get the sense that it's actually overwhelming a lot of you. Don't hold back the tears. Don't hold back the gratitude. Don't hold back the devotion. Just let it flow. This is actually what it's supposed to feel like. Thank you. Have a good day too. All right, so let me get closing guidance in this last minute and then I'm a bounce. Oh. I love it. We got the mystery card on the basis of the star, which is the celestial nature. So this is us being fractals of the sun. And this is our divine, the great isness, the great existence that gives birth to us. So yeah, I'm going to take that as all the information that, in particular, that came through right at the beginning, that little sermon that I had, and what you were feeling is what you need to take away with you for this week. So blessings to all. I love you so much. Please, of course, like and share the video, and check back later on today, like several hours later, to give me a chance to update with all the information in the description box. And yeah, I think that's it. Love you. Bye.